Welcome back. It is 9 a.m. on a beautiful Monday morning, and now we go to the community news where we've seen some parts of the Robertsham community facing a 3 to 5 days of no power. And obviously, understanding that having no power means that a lot of things can go wrong in the household, like your appliances, etc., can get burnt when the lights come back on, or you can also have your food spoiling, and there's many other factors whereby you can't actually have your day going as smooth as possible. Now, on this, we are joined by Councillor Rashida Landis, who will be taking us through this matter and see how we can actually escalate this matter to make it actually work so that people do get lights after this, hopefully. Councillor Rashida, welcome to the show and thank you for your time.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for inviting me. And morning, listeners. Yes, I would like to take them. I would like to take them through this horrendous few days.
Yes, Councillor, please do take us through the issue here, because we've seen complaints and frustrations are brewing up, especially in the time whereby people are starting to prepare to go back to work and starting their year off, and now having to face a situation whereby there's no lights. That can really stump a person's time, and a lot of frustration brewing up. So how do we handle this situation at the moment?
Yes, indeed. It is a very, very frustrating issue. It has been for a few days from the 1st of January, and it is highly uncalled for, because it could have been prevented if the MNC and the mayor and the top management of City Power communicated to us as councillors to prepare the community. Because let me put you in a picture. The MNC said on the 1st of January, when I called him when it started, there's no money, there is no material in the warehouse, and no communication to us, non-payment to the contractors. So what do we expect on the ground? Chaos. And with that being said, the human right of our community has been taken away, because now they must throw away their food and their appliances that has been damaged. And I feel this is total disregard of the community by the mayor, the MNC, and City Power. I hold them responsible fully. So I've spoken to the managers at City Power this morning. There were some materials, but I'm not putting my head on a block for that, because I don't know where they're going to get money and materials.
Precisely.
I don't know if the contractors is back today, if they've been paid or what. So I will keep on following up. I will keep on pushing, but I'm not going to leave it there. I will be calling a meeting with the mayor, the MNC, and I would love the mayor and the MNC and the top management of City Power to come down to our levels on the ground and come and see and feel what we experience on the ground.
No, for sure. I think that's actually one of the first move needs to be that they have to come themselves and experience and see exactly what is the frustration of the people. Because as the residents of Robertsham, I mean, how are they expected to now cope with this outage for so long? You spoke about appliances getting burnt, etc., and being damaged, and foods going off, and people have to now throw away and discard of that. But there's more into that, whereby you have that sense of security is not there anymore. Now, obviously, this has to be taken very seriously. Obviously, today is the 6th of January, which most of the offices are now open, and I believe that there has to be a extent whereby we have to really push this, and as I can hear from what you were mentioning earlier on regarding what was the responses from the offices, etc., many people can just say those are just excuses, and people on the ground right now are not really worried about the money, are not really worried about the many problems that are being faced up there. They just want to see solutions. Now, how do we now come down to the people, the residents who are facing this big issue? Now, how do you comfort them and also make sure that you assure them that there is a resolution which is going to be met at the end of the day?
You know what? I can't even come down and give solutions, because when I spoke to the spokesperson of City Power, he told me bluntly that there is no crisis. because they don't see anything as urgent and urgency to the residents. But when they must pay their bills, it is an urgent matter and they receive that gladly. So I will take this up with the mayor and the MMC again today, because what my gripe is, outsourcing is the worst ever that you can do, because we're not going to get quality work from subcontractors. And
most
that is
definitely.
why we're sitting in this dilemma at the moment because of that.
And
And
also
non-payment.
it feels as though now there's just a lot of finger pointing which is taking place, because if you go to one office, they tell you that's not their problem, is that other office. You go there, they also tell you the same thing over and over again. I mean, we've been facing the same issue with the water crisis not so long ago, and now it's with electricity, and this is uncanny because again, there's a lot at stake here, and for them to say that this is not a crisis, I believe that is just a really erroneous statement from their side, because they need to understand that people need power in order for their lives to go well. So I don't know, Councillor, then we really need to escalate this as soon as possible, because as a resident of Robertsham myself, I feel that it is a situation that we need to find a solution, and as soon as possible, because the thing can only get worse. I mean, what will happen now when the community or the residents themselves now take it to the streets and start protesting and start burning stuff? Now there will become another situation, another hazard, and that's also more costs and expenses that will come off that. So, Councillor, we really need to find a solution, and I believe that the office has to do something for that before anything takes a bad toll on that.
I agree with you 100%, because I fully agree on that. And the mayor is not coming to the party. I messaged him. He asked me what's wrong in the ward. I said, don't, and I sent him a detailed message as to what was wrong in my ward. So after that, it was quiet. He never came back to me. They're not answering their phones. So yes, if there's protest, it is more damage to the JRA and more stakeholders. But it seems to me that is what I understand. And I don't agree with protesting, because I believe in going to the round table and discuss issues. But it seems to me that they're not open for discussion, because they don't come back to us as the councillors and explain to us or tell us in detail why there is no money, why there is no material, because we're asking these questions and they don't even answer their phones or answer our questions.
No, it's very concerning, Councillor, and I understand also on your side that there's some limitation to that. So now, a fair question here is now, what are the steps now which are being taken by the authorities now, besides what they've been saying? What are the steps that they're actually taking, which we can see their actions in order to try and resolve the situation?
There is no steps, Joshua. There is no steps or solutions that they're bringing to the table. Some people in South Hills are out for 16, 20 days. I cannot comprehend the urgency. If they say there's no crisis, why is the people from 3 days to 20 days out of electricity? Why? So I am urging the community also to put pressure on City Power and the mayor. Bombard him with calls. Because I was once told that I am rude and they will take me to ethics. But I don't care. I will fight for the residents until no more.
No, 100%. We really need everyone now to come together. I think this is now a situation where it needs to bring us together on the same voice, crying into the may seem to be deaf ears, but I think it's time that we need to stand as a community and bring this forth. And Councillor, we really thank you for your time, and really hope that there will be some change in from today on in the next few days, couple of days, so that people can have the power back on. As we've mentioned, that there's a lot at stake at the moment, and we really need to find solutions. And another thing is that now we need to know what are the future resolutions on the situation, because now it shouldn't happen that maybe the lights will come back for only a few days. Thereafter, that is back to the same situation again. But there has to be some solution to it, resolution, and there has to be communication. I think that's another thing which we've, from what you saying, your statement, most of the points are leading to that there was no communication from the authorities to the residents themselves. So now that gets more frustrating for the community at large. But thank you for your time, Councillor, and really hope that you keep us up to date with what's happening and how the resolutions are looking for the near future.
Yeah, thank you, Joshua, for having me. But just a last statement. I just want to reiterate to the residents there. We must not blame the technicians for not coping, because they are under tremendous strain. Because of the strain, someone almost burned on Saturday, the technicians, because now they must answer the court, and the work they're doing is very, very dangerous. So I urge the community not to go and stand and hammer the technicians when they're busy working. I will respect their cooperation. Thank you.
Right, that was Councillor Rashida Landers speaking about the issue in Robertsham, where people are not having electricity for about 3 to 5 days, and other places where she mentioned that people have no electricity for about 20 days. And now we need to know what is the next move from our community and City Power also in terms of the situation. There has to be a solution and there has to be a way forward. So let's take a quick break, because up next we're speaking to Brother Barkatullah Stole, or known as Bab Jobe, regarding how are Muslim prisoners represented in South African prisons. So let's take a break.